It's a really good question. I actually worked with someone that Peter knew, and my work at the time had gone through a big restructure and a bit of a change, and my wage was going to be considerably affected to the tune of probably $60,000 to $70,000 a year of difference down, and I have a wife and 4 children, young children. One was 12 or was 11 at the time, and all the rest were under the age of 4. And it was going to be a very big change for us. So the trigger was them hearing about that. Peter reached out to me to offer some help, and I kind of sat down and said, geez, I'm in a bit of pain here because my monthly outgoings are going to far exceed what my monthly income is going to be, and I've got a week's notice. So it starts right now. That was probably the main trigger. The service provided from Peter originally was to look at my finances and where we could cull expenses out to firstly just bring it under what that monthly income was going to be. With my wife not being in a position at the time to go back to work because of how young our littlest one was. Littlest Sophia was only, I think, probably a few months old at the time. So it's one of those things that was quite it was quite a tough time. So it was one of those things that Peter came in, sat with us, restructured all of our finances for outgoings, and then re-looked at all of our insurances, all of our life insurances, all of our house, and kind of everything really, to see where we could save every cent we possibly could. And we were able to take our outgoings from just above $10,000 a month to under $7,000 a month overnight. One of them, I had to sell my car, was one of the biggest ones, and I'm a very big car person, so that was really tough for me. Had to sell my car, but apart from that, we managed to find $3,000 a month in changes for outgoings relatively quickly, which was unbelievable to me, at dropping almost 30% of our expenditure went down overnight because of the way that Pete restructured it, which was amazing. Look, I'll start with financially. It allows us to have a really good, clear understanding of how much things could cost for us, what expenditure we could actually live on well. We weren't eating noodles every night, but we were pretty hard on our budget. We were eating out less, and so we had to make some pretty significant changes to drop at $3,000. But did any of our kids realise? No, not at all. For them, life was, the same as we knew it. I think one of the weeks we had to have sausages and vegetables for about 3 days in a row while the next pay came in, which was not common for us. The kids thought it was the best 3 days of their life, having sausages and vegetables, so we were pretty lucky that they didn't feel affected, and that was my biggest concern. It was how much would my family be affected by financially, but personally he saved us. Pete saved us. It was one of those things where I honestly thought we were in a whole world of problems. It was going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to fix. And I'd had an 18-year career at that point in the same industry. I've been doing it since I was 20 years old. I didn't know anything else at the time. And it really got things moving for me personally in relation to, okay, if companies can do this to anyone, no matter how long you've been around, then I need to take control of my own circumstances. I now run my own company, successful company, away from that particular business. A year later, I ended up resigning, and now I'm in control of my own destiny, and we're still able to keep our financial expenditure under that $7,000, right on it actually, every month, and the overflow now is just savings, and we've never been in a more financially stable position than we are right now. It's one of those things that when you open up your books, it's almost like opening up your whole soul to someone and saying, this is what we've done. This is what my credit card spends on each week, and this is handing over that information was quite daunting. So you need to be able to trust the person, and if you don't trust your financial advisor with that, then I believe that you've got the wrong financial advisor. If you don't trust them implicitly, and if they don't make you feel like you can trust them, then change your financial advisor right now, because the connection that I have with Pete in that space, and my wife has with Pete, and our whole family does now, is one of, I can share anything about my personal experiences, my life, or my finances, and know that it's going to stay with Pete, that it's going to be safe, and that it's going to be protected, and he's going to have something to come back at me and help me with it. So for me, having somebody in my world that I can share that with just took such a burden off. where you can sit at home every night as the father of the house and as a husband, and I was the sole earner at the time. That burden of financial pressure on you is immense, and when things go badly and things go wrong, the stress levels go through the roof, and men don't share that stuff. So allowing me to have a place where I can go and share that and learn and structure and redo it and get better at it, and now I find I'm all over my finances now. Like I said, we've never been more financially secure than we are right now. Has really helped us. I would say the biggest benefit that we had working with Peter is that I'm very good with numbers. I'm not amazing at writing letters or spelling and so forth, but I'm very, very good with numbers and I understand them pretty well. And I knew nothing about finance. I thought finance was about mathematics and balance sheets. It's just not even close how money it should be taught in schools. I said to Pete, one of the things that's going in my will, if you will, or if going in our plan for our children, is that at 15 to 18 years old, they get a 1-hour appointment with Pete to go through finances so Pete can train them, and they're going to go on some kind of expense with someone like Pete from his company, because if I knew at 17 what I know now about finance, I'd own my own home and never been in that position. I would have owned my own home by the time I was 30, without a doubt. And I had a brand new mortgage at 35. It's just ridiculous. Now I know what I know about finance, and I know a tip of the iceberg still, especially compared to Pete, who's a genius. If I knew then what I knew now, I would be very, very financially secure and have all the options that the world would have for me. And I will at some stage, but at the moment I don't, and it's because of my lack of knowledge. They don't train it anywhere. Unless you go do a finance degree, you're not going to get that information anywhere else. So I really motivate people to make sure you learn about it. That's been the biggest benefit, is our knowledge around finance and how much it's helped us. So in short, I would absolutely recommend Merideon Wealth Strategies, namely Peter and Mark and the guys, for what they do. It is unbelievable the level of service that they provide, and just their knowledge and expertise is quite amazing. In a business that I run, in order to make a sale or whatever it might be, connection and expertise are really, really important, and you're going to get both of those things when you're dealing with Merideon. I absolutely recommend them. They've absolutely changed our world and what we've done. I cannot thank Peter enough. I still plug his business whenever I can, and I make sure that I introduce him to as many people as I possibly can, because without him we wouldn't be where we are, and our family would be in a pretty bad way at that time, especially financially. It doesn't take long for money to run out when your wage changes, especially out of your control. So I recommend to make sure that you have a strategy in place that if your wage was halved tomorrow, you're going to be completely okay. And I think that Pete's been able to do that for us. So yeah, thank you so much, guys.